Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Heather from yogabyheather.com, where I teach how to build a strong body and clear mind through yoga. In today's video, I want to show you 5 different yoga poses that I do to help alleviate tight hips, tight or painful hips. So just a little background, about 30 years ago this year, I broke my femur. I had several surgeries on my hip and my knee to get a rod put in there. Had it taken in and out, that kind of thing. So that's actually what got me into yoga, was trying to help alleviate some of the pain that came with having all of those different surgeries on my hip and my knee. Recently, about 2 months ago, I also broke my tibia and fibula in this leg and had to have surgery on my knee and my ankle. And as a result, I've got a tight ankle, a tight knee, and a tight hip. So we're gonna go over a couple of different things that you can do if you are experiencing tight hips. If you have a couple of things available to help you with these poses, these are things that are going to be extremely beneficial for you. If you have a strap, a yoga strap, you can use this. I'll show you how to use it. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a towel, you could use a belt, even a necktie, something like that that's not stretchy. You don't want to use something stretchy. Then I've got a bolster, a yoga bolster here as well. You don't need a specific bolster. You can use a pillow. You can use a blanket folded up. You want it to be nice and stiff so that it doesn't squish too much when you're using it. And then I've got yoga blocks here. So I've got a couple yoga blocks that you can use. If you don't have this, you can use books, you can use boxes, anything that those yoga blocks end up helping bring the floor up to where you need it. And I'll show you how to do that in just a few seconds here. So let's get into the 5 poses that you can do to help alleviate tight hips and some hip pain. So the first pose is called the butterfly pose. This is actually one of my favorite poses to do for my hips. So what you'll do is you'll start out with your feet out in front of you, and my buddy Cole is joining us here today. He's my workout partner, yoga partner, everything partner. If you've got a pet, you know what I mean. So start out with your legs straight out in front of you, and then moving around your dog, you're going to bring the bottoms of your feet together so that they are touching. So I'm going to have to move out of his way here. So I move out of his way. He doesn't move out of my way. So bring the bottoms of your feet together and then just bring your feet in towards you as much as it feels comfortable for you. There should be no pain. There should be no tingling. There should be no reason that you are feeling short of breath. You should be able to breathe in and out nice and deep. If you're breathing shallow, you're too far into the stretch. So with this butterfly pose, what you can do is bring your feet in as close to your body as feels best for you, or as far out is what feels best for you. So this is really just going to depend on where you are today with your hips. So you can bring those in. One thing that you can do, again, the blocks are going to raise up the floor for you. So if you feel like your knees are just coming down too far and it's too intense on your hips, you can put a block under your knee, whichever way feels best for you. You can do it a couple different ways here, whichever feels best for you. You can do it on both sides, whichever works for you. The other thing that you can do is you can wrap the strap around your knees to sort of limit how far your knees come down. So you can use this as a way to hold your knees so that you can still relax them. You can still relax them, but the stretch isn't so intense on your hips. So you can do that as well. All right, so that is the butterfly pose. All right, next thing is child's pose. Now, I do have limited mobility in my left knee and my left hip. So I can't do a full child's pose, but I'll show you what it should look like. You'll come onto all fours. Cole's trying to find a new place to sleep here, lay down. You're gonna come up onto all fours. You're gonna bring your toes together, spread your knees out so that your body can fit in between. And then you're gonna come down, bring your chest down to the ground. And then what I can't do right now is bring your bum down to your feet, okay? So if you're like me and experiencing some limited range of motion in a joint, what you can do is put this bolster in between your legs here. And even for me, that's not quite high enough. I need to bring sort of the ground up a little higher. So I'll take a block and put that under here. That's still not high enough, so I'm going to twist it. And then just bringing my head down, my arms out, come out in front of me. It's a good stretch for my back, good stretch on the hips. Nothing feels too intense. I'm able to breathe in and out deeply and freely. This feels good. There's no pain. There's no tingling. The next pose I want to show you is the pigeon pose. So there's the pigeon pose. There's the half pigeon pose. What I'm going to do is show you how to do this reclined, so laying on your back. For those of us who are limited in our hip and knee mobility, you can lay down on your back. If you want to use your bolster as a pillow, you can. You can lay down flat on the ground as well. But what you'll do, start out with both legs laying flat. Bring your feet up, bend your feet, and then raise your right leg up to the sky. And then you're just going to do a figure 4. Bring your right ankle to your left knee. And you can bring your right knee out. You can even press it just a little bit if you would like. To extend the stretch, you'll feel that stretch in your right hip. All right, so you can press here. If you want to take the stretch even further, what you can do is you can reach through your legs and wrap your hands around the back of your knee and gently pull that leg into your chest as much as you can, wherever it feels good for you, all right? And same thing here. If you've got this pulled all the way into your chest and you want to extend it, you can very gently press your knee out to the side. All right, so that is one way to do a pigeon pose. That's the reclined pigeon. The next thing that you can do is you can come onto all fours. Come onto all fours and raise your right leg up to the sky. Bring it forward, bring your right knee to your right wrist, and then bring your left ankle out over to the side, and then you can stretch the left leg out behind you. So now again, I'm experiencing a little bit of limited range of motion. So what I can do is place a block underneath my bum, my right side bum, so that I don't just collapse over like this. We don't want to just collapse over. So you can use a block to help prop you up like that, and you'll feel that stretch. So another fantastic yoga move that you can do for your hips is a tabletop one-legged rotation. So we're going to come back into the tabletop position that we've been in a couple times already. And you just stay here in a tabletop position. Your shoulders and elbows are over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees, okay? Back is nice and flat. And what you can do is you can just gently raise one of your legs, so all of your body weight starts to move over into the other leg, and you can just gently do some hip rotations in one direction, and then you can go in the other direction as well. And so you can do this 10 times or so each way. This is a really good way to start opening up your hips and giving them a nice stretch. And the final yoga move I would like to show you for tight hips to alleviate pain is a supine twist. So we're going to come back, lay down on our back again. You can use your pillow, your blanket. So you're going to start with your knees bent, and you can come up to a 90-degree bend here. And then all you're going to do is just gently rotate over to either the left or the right side, whichever way you want to start. And you can feel the stretch in your hips, and you'll feel it in your low back as well. One thing that you can do to extend the stretch, you can raise your arms out to the side. You can do cactus arms, and then you can also look in the opposite direction. That helps give a nice upper body stretch. If you're turning to the left, make sure that you're keeping your right elbow down, your right shoulder down on the ground. You don't want to start rotating like this. You want to keep everything down. Legs are over this way. You can also take your left hand on top of your right knee and gently press down. And then you can also move the bottom leg out of the way to bring your top knee closer to the ground. All right. So you can do that on both sides. The other thing that you can do is you can take your strap, and I love doing this one. This feels so good for me. And I put it on the bottom of my foot, hang on to it about, on the shin, the knee area, wherever is comfortable for you. And then what you can do is you can rotate over to the side again, holding it. Again, it shouldn't be so intense that you're breathing shallowly. You're able to breathe in and out nice and deep, whatever feels good for you. You can hold that for 5 breaths, come back up to the center, and then now you can rotate externally onto the other direction. And again, to the point where you feel the stretch, but it's not too intense, you're able to breathe. And that's it. So those are the 5 different poses that I like to do for tight hips. If I have any hip pain, those are some of my favorite yoga poses to do for tight hips. So there's lots of other things that you can do, and also lots of other ways that you can do the same 5 poses I just showed you. But this is a good way to get started with starting to build a little bit of flexibility, mobility in your hips. It's great for after you've been sitting all day, maybe you've been sitting on an airplane, you're sitting at a desk, or you just have tight hips like I do. So thank you for watching this video. If you're interested, I do have a Yoga for Strength blueprint. It is a step-by-step guide on building a stronger body through yoga. You can download that by going to yogabyheather.com/blueprint. I've also got a link to that in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like it, subscribe to my channel, and even share this video with somebody who you think might benefit from it.